Welcome to the graduation ceremony of the 2024-3 St. Paul Police Academy. I am Senior Commander Jennifer Corcoran. I'm the Director of the Department's Training Unit and member of the 2001-4 Police Academy class. Tonight we are here to celebrate the accomplishments of this class and welcome them to the St. Paul family. Officer Shannon, prepare the class of 2024-3 for graduation. Audience, please stand for the presentation of colors by the St. Paul Police Department Honor Guard.
Detail! Attend! Go! Class, present, arms. Detail, present, arms. Detail. Order. On.
Audience, you may be seated. At this time, I would like to introduce Commander Eric Kammerer, who is the Training Academy Commander and a member of the 2007-2 Police Academy class.
Good evening. Before we start, I would like to take a moment to recognize many special guests who are in attendance tonight, as well as the people who have helped make tonight possible. On the stage with me tonight are Mayor Melvin Carter, Chief of Police Axel Henry, Assistant Chief of Police Paul Ford, Deputy Chief Sherry Falkowski, Rabbi Mayor Rubenfeld. And from the training unit, we have Senior Commander Jennifer Corcoran, Academy Commandant Sergeant Chelsea Seiberling, Sergeant Chris Hansen, Sergeant Lou Ferraro, Academy Liaison Officer Patrick Shannon, Training Unit Officers Neil Anderson, Hector Menakarian, and Dustin Sweeney, Physical Fitness Coordinator Jim Hensrud, and Office Assistant Lisa Strobin. A special word of thanks to the St. Paul Police Department Honor Guard, Police Band, Police Reserve Officers, and our Community Engagement Cadets who are assisting with the ceremony tonight. Also, thank you to all the Police Department personnel who have joined us to celebrate tonight, to include Deputy Chief Kurt Hallstrom, Deputy Chief Josh Legault, Deputy Chief Tim Flynn, recently retired Deputy Chief Pamela Berrigan, retired Deputy Chief Don Benner, all other command staff, sergeants, officers, and any other retirees who may be with us tonight. Furthermore, joining us in attendance tonight are many city department directors, members of the Chiefs Advisory Council, as well as many other city, civic, and academic leaders from this great city. We are appreciative of their partnerships and support. Finally, I would like to recognize and thank the family and friends who have gathered to help celebrate this important milestone in the lives of these new St. Paul police officers. No one takes this journey alone. Your support and encouragement have played a key role in their success. Let's have a round of applause for all of our honored guests. At this time, I would like to invite Rabbi Mayor Rubenfeld to give the invocation. Rabbi Rubenfeld was born and raised in Brooklyn, New York. He came to Minnesota in 1999 for his rabbinical ordination. 3 years later, he married his wife, Miriam, and made St. Paul his home. He is blessed with 4 children, Chaya, twins Chaim and Racheli, and many. Rabbi Rubenfeld is the assistant rabbi at Adath Israel Synagogue in Highland Park. Rabbi Rubenfeld has been a chaplain with the St. Paul Police Department since 2006. When he is not busy with the synagogue, he enjoys exercising, cooking, and spending time with his family. Rabbi Rubenfeld.
Let's pray. Almighty and gracious God, thank you for this day. We ask you to bless us as we celebrate the accomplishments of these graduates. We want to thank you for giving them the strength and wisdom that brought them here tonight. We thank you for their commitment to a higher calling. We thank you for their family members and friends who show them the love and support throughout their training. We thank you for the trainers who taught them and gave them the tools to serve our community to the highest standards. And let us say amen.
Mayor Melvin Carter is a 5th-generation St. Paulite who grew up in the historic Rondo neighborhood. He is a proud graduate of the St. Paul Public Schools, a former St. Paul City Council member in Ward 1, and the son of a public school educator and one of St. Paul's first Black police officers. It is this background that deeply informs his leadership and vision for public safety, which is grounded in our community-first public safety framework. Mayor Carter champions initiatives that acknowledge public safety as a core component of a thriving community. He believes building a safe city that works for all of us is accomplished through mutual trust, opportunity, and strong community partnerships. Mayor Carter currently resides in St. Paul's East Side with his wife, Dr. Sakina Futrell Carter, and their children. It is my honor to introduce Mayor Melvin Carter.
Thank you all for being here tonight. My name is Melvin Carter, and I'm honored to serve as the mayor of this city. To our incredible police chief, Axel Henry, thank you so much for your incredible leadership, calling us every day to service with purpose. That's a calling that I know that our officers, every man and woman in this uniform, steps up to the plate to serve every single day. And it's a calling that I know that every member of our team, St. Paul, steps up to serve every single day. I also acknowledge our fire chief in the audience, as well as some of our fire department leadership. Fire Chief Butch Inks, thank you so much for being here as well. We appreciate you joining us here. Serving as mayor of this city is an incredible honor. And one of the greatest honors that we have to do is to welcome new people into the fold of this team. I always call it Team St. Paul. Members of class 2024-3, you'll get emails from me. And every email will start with those three words, Team St. Paul. And that essentially is just our 3-word reminder that we all work together here as a team. That while we each have a job to do when we go to work tomorrow, while we each have specific duties to do, that we are one full team. And I learned long ago the difference between a group of people and a team of people. A team of people is a group of people that can do more because they're together than they can do working separately. That's the work that we've taken on. As you sit in these chairs, you have chosen to be police officers. You haven't just chosen a job. You haven't just chosen a career. You've chosen a calling. You've chosen one of the hardest callings on the planet. Being a police officer is an everyday, every moment job. As my father was just mentioned, my father's retired St. Paul Sergeant Melvin Carter, and I remember us in a store in St. Paul one day when I was a young student, and someone had gotten caught shoplifting. And my father, during this family day, went to go help. And I said, "Hey, Dad, why don't you tell them you're off duty?" And I see the smirks of some of the officers in the room, because he looked at me and he explained something very important to me. He said, "Son, a St. Paul police officer is never off duty." Because it's not just about punching a clock. It's not just about checking in and checking out. It's about a lifestyle that you commit yourself to. And being a police officer, you are the ones. And it's said a lot about our emergency responders, but that makes it no less true. You are the ones who run into the worst situations in our community when everyone else is running out. The last time we came to one of these graduations, I was in the car reading about the school shooting that happened at Appalachian High School in Georgia. And I was reading this article, and I shared with the audience that I was reading this article about the texts that a mother was exchanging with her 2 daughters from inside the school during that shooting. And she was encouraging them to pray. And she was encouraging them to hide. And they were telling each other that they loved each other. And then the whole tone of the text thread changed with 4 words. The sirens are here. They prayed to their Creator, and sirens came. That is a sacred responsibility that you take on in this moment. It's one of the hardest callings you could choose. And it's one of the hardest times to choose this calling. We all know that public expectations, public accountability, public transparency is higher than it has ever been. And yet, you have chosen not only the high bar to become a police officer, not only have you chosen the even higher bar of becoming a police officer at this moment in time in history, you have chosen an even higher bar than that. You've chosen to become members of the St. Paul Police Department. This department is not by accident one of the leading departments in the country. This department has been intentional about being on the forefront of identifying the new opportunities, the new ways, the new models of service, the new tools, the new practices, the new ways to serve our community. This department has been intent on not just relying on the tools that served us last year or in the last decade or in the last generation, but building the tools, not just for St. Paul, but for other departments around the country that will serve us next year and into the next generation. This department holds our head high with that creed that I just shared from our police chief, service with a purpose. This department has been all about serving community, making partnership with community, expanding our team with community for a very long time. And that's why I'm proud to be, as someone who grew up literally in this department, as someone who's had an opportunity to work closely with this department for the better part of the last 20 years. That's why I'm always proud to be a part of the St. Paul Police Department. You have chosen one of the hardest callings imaginable at one of the hardest times imaginable in a police department whose expectations are second to none. How do you get through that? You get through the next stage in the same ways as you got through to here. Again, I got a chance to watch my father sit and serve in this uniform for almost 30 years. And 3 things that I would suggest were keys to his success. 1, take care of yourself. There's no mistake that every time we get on an airplane, it tells us to fasten your own oxygen mask before trying to help others. Because if you don't have oxygen, you can't help anyone else. If you don't have your mental and physical health, you can't help anyone else. Be unapologetic about the care that you take for your physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual well-being. 2, care for one another. It's no mistake that we send you out to cover each other's backs. It's no mistake that you go out with radios and communication devices and the opportunities to work together, because you will see one another in ways that you're not able to see yourself. You'll be able to see when each other needs help. You'll be able to see when it's time for somebody to take a break. You'll be able to see when someone needs some type of emotional support. Take care of each other. And the third is use your team. And if you remember just a few minutes ago, I encourage you that your team really is every man and woman who serves in this badge and uniform. But your team does not stop there. Your team is every single man and woman who stands up every morning as a part of our City of St. Paul team. But your team does not stop there. Your team works at the county. Your team works at the state. Your team works in nonprofit organizations. Your team serves in churches. Your team takes kids to soccer practice every Thursday. Your team is every single member of our community who is praying alongside you and working alongside you and hoping alongside you for a safer, more prosperous, fairer community right here in St. Paul. Use your whole team. Your team is your family members who are here to wish you well today. Family members, I don't know what it feels like to put on one of these uniforms, but I sure know what it feels like to send a loved one out the door in one. This calling you chose isn't just on your own behalf. You choose this calling on behalf of this room full of people. Use your team. When they look out for you, make sure you hear them. When they encourage you, make sure you receive that. Use your entire team. I thank you to the parents. I thank you to the spouses. I thank you to the children and the siblings and the loved ones and the friends who are in this room and standing up in this space to be a part of your support system, to be a part of our Team St. Paul team. I thank you for your service as well. I thank you for the work that you've already done and the work that you'll undoubtedly continue to do to look out for our officers, to be a part of their team, and to be a part of St. Paul and the mission that we are on to build a city that truly works for every single one of us. I appreciate you greatly. Congratulations to you all. As I look at the class of 2024-3, I know that as the classes before you and as the classes that will undoubtedly come after you, you will continue to serve us proud. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Carter. It is now my privilege to introduce our chief, Axel Henry. Chief Henry was born, raised, and resides in St. Paul. He is a graduate of St. Paul Central High School, received his undergraduate and master's degree from the University of St. Thomas, and has attended the FBI National Academy. He was a member of the 1998-1 Police Academy. In November of 2022, he became St. Paul's 42nd Chief of Police. Please welcome Chief Axel Henry.
Well, thank you so much for being here. It's a great honor to stand here with you tonight for the celebration of this class's graduation. I also want to say a special thank you to all the people in uniform in the crowd tonight who are working or stopping by. It's very important. I'd also like to indulge you for a quick second. There's someone who has done more to recruit and bring on folks that probably never thought they could actually achieve this goal that's in this room tonight, and they were wearing a uniform up until last Friday. I'd like to give a special round of applause to Deputy Chief, retired now, Pamela Berrigan, for her service. Thank you so much. I'd like to join the other speakers in thanking the family and friends of those graduating tonight for our community's new officers. None of us get here by ourselves, and your help, love, and support has undoubtedly made these things possible. As we do every morning before we have a graduation, there's a tradition here in St. Paul called the Chief's Inspection. And the person who has the job that I have goes down and does one final uniform inspection of the class. Now look at this group. They look pretty stoic, don't they? They looked exactly the same this morning, although they're all standing. You can imagine that's a great amount of stress and nervousness, but I can assure you there wasn't a single uniform that was out of place. There wasn't dust on anybody's shirt or any of those types of things. They're a great looking group. But that inspection focuses a lot on appearance. And what I told them was, I'm not really worried about your appearance. Sure, I think it's important you look good in your uniform, and that does display a level of pride and importance in what you do. But the things that I think are really important to inspect are those things that we don't see. They're not the things in their uniform. The things I'm worried about and that I want them to inspect in themselves are their values. What are their priorities inside of themselves? Those are things I can't walk up and down the line and talk about or look for. They're things they have to decide for themselves, and we have to each individually decide as individuals on this department and as a collective in this agency. It's what's in here that really matters. But that's really tough to inspect. So I asked them, from this day forward, I would ask them to consider to conduct a daily inspection of themselves and what has brought them to this work. Our department has a mission, just like a lot of companies do, just like our city does. We also have a vision, an idea of how we're going to get there and achieve those things. And we have values. Our values here in St. Paul are courage, honor, justice, respect, and discipline. These 5 words are very important, but that's not an exhaustive list. In that inspection, I have been asking you to perform this every day moving forward. And you may ask, well, how will I know that those values, how can I inspect those? Aren't those aspirational? They might be to some and they might be at times, but I'm asking you to make every one of those values a habit. Make courage your habit. Find things that are hard to do and challenging and go out and do them. Make it a habit. Make honor a habit. Make being a just person a habit. Make respect a habit. Make discipline a habit. Work on those things every day. Seek opportunities to demonstrate those habits, not only to yourself, but to the community that we serve. Inspect yourself. These values, if they are adopted as personal habits, will make you the best version of you can be, and they'll also make you the best version our community needs and deserves. Our community needs and deserves our very best. Anyone can read words off a page, and we can take these things and put them on our walls, send them at the bottom of emails. We, as officers and employees of this city, have to embody those words. That's what turns them into action. They must be our habits. And I'm asking you to inspect yourself from this day forward, saying, am I living up to those habits? Am I doing those things? These habits can provide you with both a platform and guardrails for your career and your success. This brings me to our oath. I was just told, when I walked in here, someone asked me, how many academies is this for you? And I was told it was 7. On the very first academy, I made a point of pointing this fact out here, and ever since then I've done it. We stop here at the oath so we can all recognize what this oath is, and for our perspective for our community members, what it is not. This is just as important for all of us that swore this oath, and you've heard from some of the dates of graduating classes 20, 30 years ago, as it is for the folks that are going to swear it tonight. To be crystal clear, this oath is not made to our police department. It's not made to our mayor or any other public official. And it is absolutely not made to me as the chief of police. This oath will outlive and outlast all of us. This oath is made to work in partnership with our community. It's made as our commitment to everyone out there, everyone that we serve. It's a pledge to serve our community to the best of our abilities. And if you embody our values and make them your daily habits, this will help you fulfill this oath. There's great honor and responsibility in this because our oath is truly an oath of service. Tonight, you step into a great legacy of this department. I know that you realize that. You join the rest of us in building on the incredible work of our past, but much more importantly, you are the ones that are going to help us realize our potential in the future. We are a great department, but that's never going to be good enough. It's an honor to be a St. Paul police officer, and it's an honor to serve as your chief. Congratulations to all of you. Welcome to the St. Paul Police Department, and more importantly, and I want you to really let this sink in, welcome as an important member of St. Paul's community. Thank you so much.
At this time, thank you, Chief Henry, for your remarks. At this time, Chief Henry will administer the oath of office.
As a law enforcement officer, I solemnly swear to uphold the Constitution of the United States and the state of Minnesota, that I'll bear true faith and allegiance to the same, that I will enforce the laws of the United States, of the state of Minnesota, and the city of St. Paul impartially, that I will work in partnership with the public of the city of St. Paul toward providing a safe environment and enhancing the quality of life consistent with the values of our community, that I will adhere to the ethical values of professionalism, integrity, responsiveness, sensitivity, respect, and openness, that I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office on which I'm about to enter, so help me God.
I, Nicholas Stanton Humphrey, do solemnly swear. I, Joshua Collins, do solemnly swear. I, Jacob Feinhardt, do solemnly swear. I, Nicholas Johnson, do solemnly swear. I, Theodore Rankel, do solemnly swear. I, Max Schittle, do solemnly swear. I, Tudong Van
We will now move on to the presentation of badges. Mayor Carter and Chief Henry, will you now present these officers with their badges? Nicholas Chanthamantri. Nina Cerisi. Joshua Collins. Jacob Flatgard. Nicholas Johnson. Ashley Mason Hagan. Santoy Randall. Max Shizzle. Tu Vang. Jacob Walsh. Rochelle Williams. Sarah Ziller. McKaylee Talbot. The remaining officers will have their badges pinned on by law enforcement family members. Christopher Presenzano. Badge pinned by his cousin, Officer Donovan Benner with the St. Paul Police Department, and his uncle, retired Deputy Chief Don Benner of the St. Paul Police Department. Logan Thomas. Badge pinned by his father, Deputy Michael Thomas with the Ramsey County Sheriff's Office. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the St. Paul Police Department's newest officers, Class 2024-3. Please stand and give them a rousing round of applause. At this time, we will recognize individual achievements within this class in the areas of academics, physical fitness, and marksmanship. I would like to introduce the Commandant of the Academy, Sergeant Chelsea Seiberling, member of the Academy class of 2008.
Thank you for the introduction, Commander. I am Sergeant Chelsea Seiberling, the Academy Coordinator. The training staff and I have had the privilege of guiding these recruits through our Academy program, which included over 600 hours of classroom instruction and practical skills training. During this 16-week Academy program, these recruits were continuously pushed and challenged to meet the high standards that are required to serve the St. Paul community. These recruits received extensive instruction and evaluation in many areas, from constitutional law, crisis intervention techniques, to complex criminal investigations. They must pass rigorous firearms, defensive tactics, and physical fitness testing. They must then apply all of these skills in over 160 hours of scenario-based training that simulates calls for service within our community. Ultimately, each recruit here tonight has met the high standards to become a St. Paul police officer. Within this exceptional group, few have risen to the top. Tonight, I would like to honor those distinguished in the areas of academic excellence, physical fitness, and marksmanship. Presenting the top physical fitness award is the fitness coordinator, Jim Hensrud. Top female recruit, Nina Cerisi. And I should say top female officer. And top male officer is Logan Thomas. Presenting the Marksmanship Top Gun Award is Range Officer Dustin Sweeney. Top Gun Award goes to Officer Nicholas Johnson. The Academic Award for Excellence is presented to Officer Joshua Collins. I would like to introduce to you now the 2024-3 Academy President, Ashley Mason Hagan.
Good evening. I'd like to start by thanking each of you for being here tonight. Every person in this room has played a role in our journey to making it to this moment in time. Whether you're a family member, significant other, friend, mentor, field training officer, or community member, you have contributed to making this moment possible. This hasn't always been something directly incorporated with our training, but the small things. Doing a load of laundry and ironing our uniform, making us a meal when we were too tired and wanted to run through the nearest drive-thru, letting us tell you about our day and all exciting things we got to do, even though you won't understand a single word of what we are talking about or share the same excitement. Answering a multitude of questions that most likely has nothing to do with what we are doing or talking about. Hearing us out on our bad days when we are frustrated with ourselves. Sending us to work with notes at our lunch for a midday pick-me-up, or simply by wishing us well. These are all things that have made the biggest impact because we know that there are people in our lives who support us, care for us, and want us to succeed. Having a support system that is a constant in your life not only impacted the last 16 weeks, but will continue to impact us as we embark on our careers. There will be good days and there will be bad days, but each of us know that there is someone out there rooting us on, picking us up off the ground when we need it, and having our back. During our time at Academy, we have worked to strengthen ourselves both mentally and physically in times where we thought we couldn't keep going. We work to overcome numerous obstacles that have been placed in front of us, even in times when we are uncomfortable. We work to overcome exhaustion and soreness to push forward and make our weaknesses stronger. We work to continue to challenge ourselves in areas where we excel. Throughout all this, there's been one constant: each other. We supported and cheered each other on when an accomplishment had been made and comforted each other when times got hard. We told a corny joke when the room felt heavy and could tell everyone needed a laugh. We borrowed each other whatever equipment we may have forgotten or didn't have in order to succeed as a team. We stood by each other in front of fans and wrapped each other in towels when one couldn't stop shivering but refused to move. We came together as a team and got to know each other on a more personal level, which created lasting memories. To my fellow recruits, we did it. We made it to the end of this journey and now are set to begin the next. While we take a moment to prepare for what's to come, here are a few things I ask you to remember. I ask that you never forget the memories. I ask that you never forget that we are a family and the bond we have will never fade. I ask that you reflect on your why when times get hard and you need to push forward. I ask that you always remember to serve with purpose, to never forget what we do matters, and that you have the 14 of us working alongside of you, rooting you on. This has been a journey that I am immensely grateful for because it provided me with the opportunity to meet all of you who are now part of my family. To the Academy training staff, a simple thank you does not begin to express our gratitude to you. We hope we have not only met, but exceeded the expectations you set forth for us. We hope we have shown to you that we are determined, motivated, and committed, and will be taking the knowledge, skills, words of wisdom, and life lessons with us onto our next journey. We thank you for your dedication towards preparing us even when we struggled and questioned ourselves and our abilities. You all pushed us forward and reminded us that we are here for a reason. You never gave up on us. We thank you for your patience when we needed something explained 1, 2, or 10 more times and asked a record-setting number of questions. We are endlessly grateful for each and every one of you. Officer Shannon and Sergeant Cyberling, what a journey this has been. Along the way, there were ups and downs, but there was always a constant, the both of you. On day 1, you became our rock. We could come to you in times of need, whether it was an equipment question, a motivational pep talk, further explanation, advice, and most importantly, a scheduling question. We never didn't want to know where and when we needed to be somewhere. But both of you had the same determination from day 1, to shape us into St. Paul police officers who live up to the highest level of expectations. You were determined to provide us with knowledge, tools, and resources to succeed. You shared your own personal knowledge, stories, and words of wisdom with us, and for that, we are endlessly grateful and will continue to hold on to all that you have shared with us. Lastly, Officer Shannon, we are beyond honored to have been your first Academy class, and thank you for your endless patience. To Chief Henry, Assistant Chief Ford, Mayor Carter, and the City Council, we would like to thank you for providing us with the opportunity to serve our community. You saw the potential within each of us and provided us with the opportunity to prove to you our desire to join this family. I don't think there's a single one of us that will ever forget the day we answered the phone call from Chief Henry. When we spoke to him, we agreed upon two things: maintaining honesty and giving our best effort at all times. This agreement is what we will continue to uphold throughout our careers. In the coming days, we will embark on our first shift as a St. Paul police officer. When we do so, we will do so with courage, honor, and respect to create peace and public safety for all by ensuring that we are 1% better each and every day. This is the mission we have committed for the entirety of our career. We will have the courage to show up in times of need, no matter the circumstances, to be there for others. We will take honor in the department and community we serve by upholding an impenetrable level of integrity for the service we provide. And lastly, we will have respect for one another, no matter our differences, views, feelings, or choices. I will end with this. We are honored to have been given the opportunity to be here. We are proud of the accomplishments we have made, but most importantly, we are proud to be getting welcomed into this family and to be able to call ourselves a St. Paul police officer. Thank you.
Thank you, Officer Mason Hagan. The success of this academy and these new officers would not be possible without the hard work and dedication of the training unit staff, the range staff, and numerous officers from our department who took the time to help train the members of this academy. Thank you all. This time I would like to ask Rabbi Rubenfeld to return to the podium and give the benediction.
Let's pray. Almighty and gracious God, as we conclude tonight's celebration, we stand here in gratitude for their dedication and courage that brought them to this important moment in their lives. We ask you for your continued protection over each one of these graduates. May they walk with honor and compassion, always remembering the sacred responsibility they now carry to safeguard their communities. Grant them wisdom to make sound decisions in the face of challenge, courage to stand firm in the face of danger, and compassion to treat all people with dignity and respect. We pray for their families and loved ones who have supported them along the way. May they be filled with pride, knowing their support has helped shape these individuals into the officers they are today. Bless these officers and all the officers of the St. Paul Police Department to be the beacons of hope and peace within our communities. May your guidance continue to be with them now and always. Let us say amen.
To the class of 2024-3, I offer you my congratulations. Your academy journey may have seemed long, but it is now over, and I hope you found value in the training. It has been a privilege to see your growth and achievements, both individually and as a team, over these past several months. You were tested physically, mentally, and emotionally, and met each challenge set before you with hard work, dedication, and discipline. To call back to what Chief Henry spoke about at the inspection today, do not let this time be the best of you. This is only the beginning of your career, and like the Chief, I ask you to commit to being better tomorrow than you were today. With that badge now pinned to your chest, I want to bring to attention that your determination, perseverance, and willingness to answer this call, take the oath of office, and embrace our department's values of service with purpose is to be commended. While the expectations now placed upon your shoulders may be high, I have confidence that each of you can meet the demands of this profession in a manner that represents the best that this department and city have to offer its residents and visitors. I believe I speak for everyone here when I say we are extremely proud of what you have accomplished and that we look forward to seeing the amazing careers you have ahead of you with the St. Paul Police Department. Before we conclude, I would like to thank Harding High School staff and St. Paul Public School District for allowing us to use this space for our graduation ceremony. To the families, friends, guests, and all others in attendance here tonight, please join us in the lobby to congratulate this group of new St. Paul police officers and enjoy some refreshments. This will conclude our graduation ceremony. Officer Shannon, please dismiss the class of 2024-3.
Dismiss. Woo-hoo!